Hi, my name is diegosepulvedaduque. I'm a transformational life and consciousness coach. Today, I will be presenting about the 5 elements of abundance, how to create from your higher self. First of all, I want to welcome you to this space. It means a lot. And if you're here connected with me, it means that you want to take action. You want to take your life to the next level. Thank you for taking action and being here. My promise to you is that you will connect with that part of yourself that is beyond the intellect, that is beyond the thoughts, that is beyond your limitations. So you are going to connect with that part of you that's infinite, that part of you that has all the answers. And it's a place from where you can create, where you can build the light of your results, where you're designing your life, not just living or making a living. Sometimes in life, there's people who have material abundance, material wealth, but oftentimes they are unconscious about how they achieve or how they function in the world. So in this video today, you're going to learn how to be conscious. And by conscience, that means you're tapping into that inner part of yourself. What is abundance? Is basically a mindset. It's a mindset where you're connected with your inner self, where you are experiencing gratitude, abundance, faith, where things are flowing for you, where there is spontaneous action, where there is intuition, where there is guided action, and you know where things are heading. What is abundance from a consciousness perspective? So abundance is a level of consciousness. There's different levels of consciousness. If you're feeling angry, if you're feeling sad, it's a level of consciousness. If you're feeling joy, bliss, it's a level of consciousness. So if you have abundance in your life, if you have manifested that abundance, it's also a level of consciousness. It's where you are connected with your higher self, you have faith, gratitude, and you are service mode. You can't have abundance if you're not in service mode. And a service mode means just letting go of any expectations, letting go of any ideas, any concepts, any judgments, and you are thinking of the other person. So where you are, it's a win-win situation because you are looking to be a service, you're looking to better and empower somebody else. That's what abundance is. And from that place of abundance, you can manifest a lot of things. You can create a life of value, a life of success. One of the great examples in personal development is Tony Robbins. He's somebody who is service-oriented. And I'm sure if you were to ask him, Tony, what's your key to success? He's going to tell you that is helping others. It's the key. As much as success he has, or as much as material abundance, he's always thinking of someone else. I'm going to ask you 3 questions. And these 3 questions are for you to reflect on. Please don't feel bad about yourself. Don't judge. I know we're so used to judging ourselves and others, but again, that's just part of our ego. The first question is, are you frustrated in life right now? Is there a situation in your life that's giving you constant frustration? The objective is not to judge ourselves, is really to explore ourselves, to be truthful, to be honest, and to be forgiven. Are you frustrated? And if you are, it's because you are in your ego. Your ego tends to feel not good enough. I'm not gonna be good enough until I reach X goal. And that's just your ego. Your ego, it's a trap. It makes you think that when you achieve this goal, you're gonna be fulfilled. And that's an ego trap. So if you're in your inner self, you are happy no matter what, no matter where your life is heading, what situation you are, there is a sense of well-being because you're not in your ego, and that's very important to understand. The second question is, are you constantly comparing yourself to other people? Are you constantly comparing yourself to your family members, to your siblings, to a good friend of yours, somebody you grew up with? If the answer is yes, it's your ego. Your ego wants to conceptualize, to create concepts, to say, okay, we're gonna measure this, or we're measuring somebody's value by how they're doing in society. And your inner self doesn't judge, doesn't compare. It reflects God as a supreme being. It's perfect, and everyone is in a different stage of evolution. So if you are comparing yourself with others, it's your ego again. We are all going to compare. We all feel frustrated at times. We can go beyond that. And I have a third question for you. The third question is, are you following your dreams? That's the third question. If the answer is no, it's okay. We're all in different points of evolution. Our inner purpose is to evolve, to grow, to learn, to be more connected with our consciousness. I asked you 3 very important questions, and the answer, like I said, has to do with your ego and your higher self. The higher self, your true self. We are all one. We're all different human beings. And to me, God just means that oneness that connects everyone, that inner, that divine intelligence, the life force in the universe. How can we create abundance? How can we create a life of abundance? The first one is, and I touched on it, is service. Service is when you are helping others, when you are using unconditional love to care, to help others. And that's what service is. Service is also a level of consciousness. It's a level of consciousness that's connected with unconditional love. Unconditional love means that you are worried about others, where you're concerned about their well-being because you are thinking of others first. It's not wrong to think about yourself, but it's also very important that you help other people. And it's something that can transform your life when you are in service, or when you get lost in the service of others, you find yourself. And that's a quote by Mahatma Gandhi. This video is a form of service, because when you reach a state of knowingness, of consciousness, you have a responsibility. When you are privileged to have a profession where you can help the lives of others, it's a privilege and also a responsibility, and you have to share it. You have to be of service if you want to impact the lives of people. That's the first element. How do you connect with service? Just being unconditional, finding something where you feel fulfilled, something that will give you joy inside. If you're in a career or a job that you're making great money, but you're not being of service, you're not making a difference, I have to ask you that you reevaluate what you're doing, because you have to strive towards that service. You want to help others. Also, when it comes to service, you want to be a service to yourself. As much as you are being of service to other people, you don't want to forget about yourself or sacrifice your values, your goals. Dr. David R. Hawkins, he was a psychiatrist. He said that service does not mean sacrifice. You don't have to sacrifice your values, your integrity, who you are, to help others. You want to be of service to other people, but you want to be of service to yourself. If you haven't read any of his books, I recommend you read his books, such as Power versus Force, Letting Go, The Path of Surrender, The Map of the Levels of Consciousness. Check his stuff out. You want to be of service, but don't forget yourself. That's one of the elements. The second element is God. We're looking at God from a spiritual definition, and to me, God is just that oneness, where we're all one with everyone, where no one is different. We're all just human beings, and we're all at every moment in our lives doing our best. We're doing our best to be family members, to be professionals, to be human beings, and that's God. To me, there's definitely force behind this, behind that intellect, behind those thoughts that we have, behind those beliefs, behind that full self. There's peace, and that peace emanates from God. When we have that appreciation of that life force that guides everything, that has a bigger purpose for us, when we're in tune, when we're connected, there's a lot of things that we can do from our own limitations that are imposed by our ego. But those limitations can be transcended when we surrender the power, when we surrender the control, knowing that there is a deeper force within us, and I want you to tap into it. You may be asking yourself, how do I connect with that higher self, that part of us that transcends those limitations, those concepts, those meditations? And the answer is surrendering, as I said. But what are practices that we can use to surrender? One of them is meditation. Meditation is a practice to quiet the mind so we can go beyond that chatter, those beliefs. We can also do so by engaging in a spiritual or religious practice, going to church or going to a service that cares about your spiritual progress. You can also do so by reading texts. If you read the life of a mystic, somebody who changed the life of the world just by their level of beingness, you can elevate your level of consciousness and you can connect with that oneness. You can also go out for a walk in nature and you just connect and you're one with nature when you're in the woods and you admire the beauty of a forest, a waterfall, a flower. Those are ways that you can connect with higher purpose within you. I can guarantee you that if you are doing, let's say, homework, or if you're writing a project, that you are going to be much more creative after you take some time and spend some time in nature. So those little activities will connect you with your higher self. We talked about service as being number one element of abundance. We also talked about that life force, higher self, God, whatever you want to call it, that power greater than yourself. The third one we're going to touch on is give. When you give, you are basically attracting abundance to yourself. It's one of the best steps for you to practice. When you give, you're attracting yourself abundance, because it's just how the universe works. When you give, or what you put out in the universe is what you get. I'll give you examples of giving. When you take some time to volunteer, when you take 10% out of your paycheck and make a donation to somebody who is struggling, or a charity, you're attracting by giving. When you give, you're basically saying to life and the universe, I'm not concerned about the result. I'm not worried. I'm just giving. And that energy will attract so many things into your life. It's amazing. Giving, important. It's important that you get yourself in a giving attitude. When the holidays come, when there's Thanksgiving, there's a lot of people who do not have the privileges that you have. We normalize our blessings. We have so many blessings in our life. If you have a roof over your head, if you have a place to sleep, if you have food when you open your refrigerator, the mere fact that you're watching this video means you either have a cell phone, a computer, or a TV. When you are normalizing those blessings, take life for granted. If you were to compare yourself, your life, to somebody who lives in a third world country, you fail to recognize that you are a blessed human being and you are much more abundant than you think you are. That's just your ego telling you, I want this, I'm going to be happy when I have $2 million. And that's not true. It all starts by recognizing that you are a very rich and abundant person the way you are now, and sharing that abundance with others who are less fortunate than you are. The fourth one, and it's beliefs. Beliefs can either empower you or disempower you. It's as simple as that. And if you want to have a life worth of success, a life of abundance, a life where you're connected with your higher self, with your own master, you have to have empowering beliefs. And your ego is going to set you in different traps, as I mentioned throughout this talk. It's going to tell you you're not good enough, and you may blame other people that have said those things to you, but it's really, you have to own and take responsibility for your own belief system. And you have to be wise enough to just say, okay, I'm going to question that belief. That belief is coming from my ego. Is that belief true? Is it absolutely true that belief is right? And when you start questioning these beliefs and you have the capacity to become more empowered, because you're going to find out that at our core, we're very individuals. We come from divine. We come from a spiritual energy. Beliefs. And beliefs, they can either empower you or disempower you. So if you want to get your life to the next level, if you want your business to succeed, if you want your career to be thriving, you have to have empowering beliefs. These empowering beliefs come from your ego, that set of programs, you identifying with your ego self, with that false self. And it starts with you taking responsibility. You're gonna blame people, you're gonna blame circumstances. Oh, this person did this to me. You're gonna blame, and that blame is gonna keep you entrapped, and it comes from your ego. So what are we gonna do with your beliefs? We are gonna question them. That's the first step. You're gonna ask yourself, is this true? Is this belief that I'm not good enough? You can use any excuse that you have. And it all starts with questioning, with self-inquiry about those beliefs. And you're gonna find out when you question those beliefs so much that you realize that you are a very capable individual, somebody who's capable of achieving many things. It's one of my beliefs is that we're very capable individuals, despite what society tells us, despite what our set of programs tell us. When you question your beliefs, you find out that you're capable. You come from that intelligent force. And when you have questioned your beliefs, you find your true essence. Don't believe what your mind tells you, believe what your heart tells you, and connect with that knowingness, that isness of the present moment, and you will be away from your thinking head. And that's where you want to be. You want to be in a place where you're taking action, where you're not caught in your head. What happens in the outside, it's what's manifesting within us. If you are connected with a right mindset, you are going to get the right results. The fifth element, and then that element will catapult you when you're feeling in a moment of stress, when you're worried, when you are sad, is gratitude. And there's no greater antidote for worried, for sadness, for depression than gratitude. When you're in a state of gratitude, you are a happy person. There's so many things that we just take for granted in our lives. I want to encourage you to write down each day just one thing or two, something that you feel grateful for, something that you're happy about. I'm grateful for my spouse. I'm grateful for my girlfriend, boyfriend. I'm grateful for my house. I'm grateful for my job. And it is important to be grateful. It will give you an unimaginable power, an unimaginable spiritual power. Despite all the circumstances, the negative things going on, there's always something to be grateful for. And I'm going to repeat this again one more time. There's always something for you to be grateful for, no matter where you are, no matter what the condition that you're facing. You have to be grateful. The 5 elements, you can apply them. If you're in a situation that it's not particularly where you want to be or where you want to go in life, or it's not heading the way that you expected it. So the first thing is you have to be grateful for that situation. That situation is a teacher, and life, the universe puts us in situations that we can transcend them and learn from them. So you have to be realize that is teaching you something, and you have to be wise enough, quiet enough to look for that hidden lesson. And you don't have to denigrate the situation. You don't have to hate it. Just be grateful for it. If you do decide that it's not your situation, then you have the tools, the empowerment to just say, okay, I'm gonna change my direction. I'm gonna follow a different profession. I'm gonna break up this relationship and I'm gonna move on. But you have to be willing to learn the lesson. You have to be grateful. Like I said, each and every moment, there's always one thing for you to be grateful for. And if you don't find that seed of gratitude, it's very hard for you to change any situation around, because everyone or something is always trying to teach you. So that's how you start transforming. It's your connecting with your higher self. Your ego will tell you things. Your ego will separate you. Your ego will distort a lot of things in your life. So just if you start connecting more with that higher self, you'll find answers, you'll find wisdom. And that's how you can transform a difficult situation in your favor, so that you can live a life that's more aligned with your values, with who you are and what you want to do in life. It also aligns you with the people you want to be with. We always want to take action from our consciousness. We don't want to be unconscious and just let our ego or our primitive part just take control. The challenge for you is to take action. And I want you to ask yourself, how am I going to take action? There's different ways that you can take action. You can just be your self-entrepreneur and just wake that up and start your own business. You can apply for a program, but just take action. Just if you are in a place where you feel like life has something better for you, ask questions and take action. Find or project yourself into a life that will be aligned with your higher self, with that part of you that's way beyond your limitations. That take action, even if it makes you afraid. Your ego is always going to pose questions for you. It's going to create negative emotions. It's going to create fear. I want you to take action. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my coaching. I am a life coach. You've seen those infomercials or those ads. I'm going to try not to be as annoying as those. I offer individual sessions and also group sessions. I also have, as you can see, I create videos. And I will have a introductory consciousness course. It's a very short course that will talk about the different levels of consciousness and in a state that has transformed my life and will transform yours. Unconditional love. It's a level of consciousness where you're connected with that state, where you have more energy, you are of service, you're thinking of others and also yourself. Feel free to check that course out. I do. Again, this is a call to action. I don't care how you're going to take action. What matters is that you take action. I'll be happy to work with you towards your goals, finding a more aligned life, a life that will be more inspiring to yourself and others. Sometimes life will throw challenges at you. It will put you in situations where you're basically feeling with your back against the wall. You may be just looking for a better result in your life. The nature of our life is to really awaken ourselves to our inner purpose, our inner calling. And I want to encourage you, and I'm here for you. I'm very happy that you watched this video, and I'm very happy to coach you all the way. If there's something that you are attached to, an idea, a car, and sometimes our mind likes to gravitate onto those things. They're just attachments, and obstacles are basically saying, hey, you need to awaken to your own inner calling. We are more than what the external world projects. We are spiritual beings living a human experience. Things happen to us for a reason. If you're facing a challenge in life, it's normal. We all gonna be there. You're facing a loss in life. It's part of being human. Thank you for taking the time to be here with me. Talked about different subjects today, the 5 elements of abundance, connecting with your higher self. We talked about challenges. I do want to thank you for watching this video. A lot of information, but your brain is going to question it. Your heart is not going to question it. Thank you for watching this video. It means the world to me. There's always going to be a place for you in my transformational home. You have resources, you have my link, you have my contact information. Feel free to just reach out to me if you are considering my coaching or anything else. I will be happy to hear from you.
You have learned 5 very simple principles. It's time to take action. Take inspired action in the pursuit of your aspirations. Act now. From the depths of my heart, I want to express my deepest gratitude for sharing this transformative journey with me today. Together, we've explored the powerful 5 elements of abundance and discovered how to truly connect with your higher self, that infinite source of wisdom and potential within you.